Okay, so it's been like a while and I've been meaning to do this thing, but we finally have the video on the Fellowship Blades Medusa. Oops. So here's the knife. Now it looks just raw, right? But I don't know if we'll get it because you see how it glimmers a tiny bit? At certain angles, it turns like, it looks bad in this lighting. Like, wait, look at that. You can see it. It turns almost blurple. So that is one of the most beautiful looking annas I've ever actually seen. So that is definitely one of the reasons I love this knife so much. But let's get into that actually. So the Fellowship Blades Medusa is a knife I've wanted for a while actually. But before, when they were still making it, I never had the money to purchase one because they're like, I think about 470, maybe 500. I'm not sure, but they're pretty expensive. And before I had a job, I couldn't really buy one. So, and then as soon as I get a job and I'm able to buy the nice knives I really want, like my basilisk and stuff, Grant said on Instagram like that he wasn't able to keep up with the company, yada yada yada, and these things have pretty much been discontinued. I'm pretty sure they're sold on this other website that Grant sells through, but they sell like a raw V1 for like $790. Like, it's insane work. But here I got this thing for only about $350. So that was a super nice deal. I saw it on the balisong marketplace and hopped on that instantly because just look at this knife. So it's a very long knife. Should have brought another knife, but if I line up like the basilisk is like up to here. Like, this thing is a very long knife, which I really enjoy. What's also interesting is how thin these handles are. Like, here, I'll go get a Kraken. Okay, so here we have the basilisk, Kraken, and then the Medusa. So let's just a little comparison. Do length first, like you can just tell. Do you see the difference in the blade lengths? Like, the blade is huge, and also these handles. But what's really interesting is, look at this. It's so much thinner than a Kraken. And the Kraken's got very square, like boxy handles, which are really nice. They're fun aluminum ones. And then this one, pretty squarish, a little bit of rounding over here on the sides. Very nice knife, obviously. And this one's just rectangular almost. So with the Basque, it's a thin, or not thin, it's a small knife handle length, but it's heavy, so it flows really well, super smooth knife. Still, in my opinion, it flips smoother than the Medusa, but I prefer the way the Medusa flips over this thing. But still, like, some days if I want a really nice, just consistent flipping experience, I'll go this. Not to say that the Medusa is not like smooth or anything, it is, but this thing is just another level. See, it's a lot longer, and they're pretty similar in weight. I think this one is about 4.4. And honestly, I thought it'd be heavier from the size of it. Like, I knew it would be a little bit lighter than it actually looks, because like I've watched Will's videos and Ethan's on their Impusas and stuff, and they said the same thing. But you never really like 100% know until you have the knife. And I think what is working for that is the length. The length lets the weight get distributed pretty well across the entire thing, so you're not feeling a whole lot of it. And then it just allows for like a light flipping experience, so you're not really going to hurt your fingers after a while of flipping like you might with the Bass, but you still get the same, like, not the same, but pretty good momentum carrying it. And also, another thing, the sound, other than this design, This is the best sounding balisong I've ever heard. And right now it currently has some super lube in it. So that's kind of what's getting it that thockier sound, like when you close it. But it still has a lot of ring to it, which I really like, that long ring after, because when I super lube my bass, it sounds better, definitely, but it mutes the ring, which I kind of like the ring. So it's really nice to see in this bally that it stays with it. But super smooth knife, definitely one of my favorites. It's been my new EDC. I really haven't been able to put it down since I got it, which was about a week and a half ago. I think it came, or no, definitely, wait, might be like 2.5 weeks ago, because I got it January 1st, so New Year's Day. And I have not put this thing down at all. Honestly, since I got it, the basilisk has seen very little flipping time. The kraken, almost none. The Sirius, a tiny bit. And then my barfly, that one's seen probably more because it is a trainer and I can't bring this thing everywhere. But anytime I can bring this anywhere and flip, I'm flipping this thing. It's a great EDC knife. It's very chunky. So this giant blade is good for opening things. Like I open packages with it, and it's smooth. And it's just amazing to carry around with me everywhere because it's not insanely sharp like the bass is. So when this thing does, like, say I do an aerial, which I did, this giant tip up here, when it actually stabs my hand, it doesn't go like through it. It will go a little bit in and then bounce out. Whereas this thing, if this thing went into my hand, I think that would definitely be an issue there. But thank God I don't really mess up with the bass, so hopefully I'm not jinxing it there. But I still love it. Still one of my favorite knives ever. But right now, it did get replaced, which I honestly did not think would ever happen. Because when I got this knife, I was like, this is it. This is my final grail. This thing's going to stay in my collection forever, which it probably will. But then the Medusa came around, and that thing has done nothing but blow me out of the water, or blow the other knives out the water. And I've just been so impressed with what Fellowship Blades was able to do. And it's really unfortunate that he doesn't make knives anymore, because not as many people get to experience this Medusa. And that's a real shame, because it is amazing. It is a treat to flip. Like, does everything so smoothly. And the blade, I wouldn't say it's like super crowned. It's not as smooth as like the Kraken's chaplains, but it's not uncomfortable. The Basilisk does not have a crown blade, so eventually a whole lot of rollover and chaplain tricks get a little bit tiring to do. Like, you don't really want to do them as much. But with this, all I'm doing is chaplains and my fans. As you can really see, that's all I kind of do. Aerials, nice and predictable, very easy. And it's just all around one of the best balisongs I've ever flipped, and definitely my new favorite knife. So that's really all I have to say about this, but it wasn't a very good review. Didn't really go in depth with everything, but you can find all the specs online if you just go search it up. But this is an amazing knife. If you have the opportunity, I would recommend you go buy one. It's 100% worth the money. I would honestly pay double what I paid for this thing. I'd rather not. I'm glad with the price I paid, but if the dude asked for more, I totally would understand it. Because not only is it amazing, again, this ano is just insane. I'll see if I can get the pictures of it, but see when I do that. But yeah, anyway, that's about it for this.